Hello, friends of Komodo platform, pirates, friends of Pirate Chain. I'm Giuliano. It's 18th of October. It's a Monday. That means we get weekly candle closes. So, friends of Bitcoin and crypto price charts, technical analysis. Oh, here we actually, speaking of Bitcoin. Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. We got some merchandise here, Pirate and Komodo, Varus even, and even some chips. I've got my Bitcoin Volcano t-shirt on right now, and I must say I love it. It's one of my favorites. The laser eyes are especially hot. So just check that out. It's in the link in the description. There's also a coupon code there. Anyway, take a look. I'm going to continue on. We're going to look at some price charts here. Oh, BTC's on the 62K. All right, interesting. So that's room for KMD and the other alts to maybe stay around these lower levels. They had dumped a bit. It was in the 16s. Anyway, we'll get there in a second. Because now we're definitely on the upside of the BTC. So on the weekly candle, you probably heard, if not, high weekly candle close, highest all-time high weekly candle close. We can look with line chart and we can see the closing here is significantly higher than previous closings. The previous high close was 59K, it was below 60K. So we closed above 60K. Although when we Japanese candlestick it, we get intra-week high at the 64.8. This is from Bitstamp Exchange. Wow, look at this. Well, we'll see how this candle ends up during the week at the weekly close. Here is the test. So in this week, it would be basically touching the top of the band if we were testing the top of this price here. All right, so let's put that in there for fun. And we will change that. Change that. So in this candle, we'd be near it. Anyway, so that's where it is. That's where we're looking to be as the all-time high pricing. So there you have it on BTC. And if we look daily, wow, definitely resisting, or sorry, supporting the uptrending, which was previous resistance, now supporting with big wicks here on a daily level, but also that's showing a loss, maybe a loss of steam. Maybe that's just part of a correction on a lower time frame, or we're going higher and then we correct bigger. Maybe 72K is the way, or anything even within the 70 as the top. That would be 5,000 more than the previous. But anyway, here we are around an interesting time for BTC, holding above this price action. Okay, that previous is now happening above that box. Cool. This line here pretty much blown through, although on one day that we can see it did have its resistance, and it is acting as support intraday. So yeah, we'll just keep watching that and see how long it can stay above this line. Roughly play it like that. Okay, that'll be an interesting time. Okay, so there we are. RSI is starting to go into the overbought, but I mean, depending on how bullish things want to be, it could get pretty wild, but then we'd be having a bigger correction most likely. Anyway, here we are. So that's your daily BTC now hitting the 62,000 mark. So we'll see what the day looks like. We are we're at 2,300 UTC. So nearing the end of this candle here of October 18. All right, now let's go back into KMD price chart. KMD BTC, wow, what can I say? This thing on a weekly The candle has turned green. That would be even more nice. But this was today's week candle. We're just Monday. So it would be, if it can close like this or even any green, that would be nice. But if not, even as a red one, you know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row of red, but with lots of up and down action. A lot of volatility on the towards the downside. So it's always helpful. A KMD, you can play ranges within weeks, and then sometimes they're even, well, when it's, yeah, you can definitely play ranges, but that's more short-term bags, you know, money bags, and none of this is financial advice. Anyway, okay, so you got these 6, and then 1, 2 is 8, 9 here with this green one. So out of the last 9 candles, 8 of them are red and quite to the downside. So here we're maybe seeing signs of life, of support. I mean, it's needed. Otherwise, the thing is though, with Bitcoin goes pretty strong, if this, we can find ourselves in a lower low than previously. I mean, are we going down towards 13? I did say 1,000 here, but as like a potential target, but yeah, going down to these levels here, we're breaking this whatever semblance of uptrend we have here. We need to keep that, but let's see what happens. Hovered earlier around $1.03 and now it's at $1.06. So on the daily, it's looking like a lot of feels supportive here. Okay, but, and you know, we're, I mean, yeah, it could, where are you? It could dump down to an oversold position, but maybe overall this move up and down is part of a bigger, you know, set of RSI activity that's going to bring us at back to, you know, back to the 3,000 Satoshi level here. That's where we're looking to get first. So yeah, let's watch out for that. Same thing, you know, MACD has been pretty red. So when green, this is on a daily level. On the weekly level, we can say that, yeah, these have been, you know, small green, maybe small red. Hopefully it doesn't get too dumpy. That's about it. Where did you come from? It's probably from the different, it's probably from the daily. Yeah. All right, so there we are with this MACD. So whatever, we'll see what ends up happening. This goes in towards, you know, middle of 2022. Okay, so that's that's KMD, BTC. Let's find a reversal here. Would be nice on the 4-hour, or below that 20 period average within that Bollinger Band, below the Ichimoku cloud. But we have a chance to turn back up. This is our time here. Let's look towards the 22nd and 23rd of October, when it might be easier to get above, but who knows, we could always play in the cloud first and then get above. But yep, we need to go there. We are closing here in these couple of candles, closing, you know, lower than previous closings here and here. Let's see what happens here. Important levels. You don't want to lose these 2 levels here on the 4-hour, because really then we're starting to test at least this channel, and we're talking, you know, 1553, 615, yeah, and that makes sense. Look up on the left here, you can see that it's this area here, but there wasn't too much. There was, though. You could see support, resistance. So I mean, there is something there. So maybe the 1550 level is the next level to the downside if Bitcoin decides to rip to like 64K and go into a few all-time highs, and people are just like, okay, we're done, we're dumping. And yeah, that's a level we would really like to hold, just at least to hold this kind of from back in January 21 to June 21. Now, if we're getting here, we'd like to hold it October 21 in, you know, October 21. This was 28th of June. time frame, and this was 8th and 9th of January time frame. Okay, so that's the levels we're watching on that sucker. Nothing in the RSI or MACD. It's like whatever. We are at a price level where we would expect reversal. Otherwise, boom, dump, and fine. Is that meaning that the reversal has to come from the 1550 level? Okay. Anyway, all right, now here we go for the next look. So we've seen the weekly chart and looks good. It could reverse, and then we're in, you know, and I mean, it doesn't have to reverse this week. See, it's red again. I'm glad, because that shows like 9 out of 10 candles going to be red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this would be the 10th. So yeah, a reverse got to come at some point. You're gonna exhaust this. I know this is KMD, and you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 reds in a row. Whoo. But I think that was a different time, and we're at different levels. Although 1,000, I mean, how do you get to 1,000 with a few more red candles in a row? Okay. I'm not saying that's where we're going. I'm saying we're actually at really good levels here to find support and bounce off. I would love that if we can do that. That would be a very good weekly sign, price action wise. Okay. In terms of like being really strong to these levels in March of 2022, where maybe we're going to go above first and come back down and be testing them again, but or whenever it happens. But we got to be getting here, at least getting to these bands around that time. So now, are we going to be flat? Is this going to be your game for the next little while? Is this what's going to happen? Let's find out. You could bore the S out of us, or like we said before, down or up. Okay, we'll find the angle. This is more of a short-term deal. Okay, right? No. No. Weeks feel like months and years, don't they? Because they are. I mean, this is 2021 right here. This whole thing is 2021. So, but this was 2020. This type of life here was 2020. Oh, that was hard. Who lived that? Okay. Now, actually, I mean, some might feel that way. Like I said, ooh, that was hard. I'm actually thinking of other people. When I think of these levels, it was feeling really good to have these levels. And then it kept coming down and it was like, oh, wow. Even the 2000 levels, holy, I was happy with like the 5,000 levels, 2000, and then it went into the thousands, down. I remember that 13, 14, 1500 level. Oh wow, those were like, yep. Okay, and then your KMD is so nice to you if you want to keep accumulating. Oh, your DCA. See, KMD is very nice for you if you do a DCA strategy. All right. It's been very good to you for DCAing. And then, you know, if, when, how that moonshot can occur, DCA is a good strategy. Okay. Now, on to, we have this $3 level, which is important to hold. Here's a weekly of the, yeah, I drew this just to like not forget that it can go down to 76, 70 cents or whatever, you know, these kinds of levels if it really wants to. And that would look like the BTC version of the chart, right? But anyway, whatever. That's not, yeah, it really could. I mean, because if things were dumping so hard, even while BTC was going up, well, having said that though, BTC was going up. It's just that there was a lot of volatility generally. That's it. It it wasn't sustainable. And so at least there's a little bit of upward trend following the Bitcoin. But as you saw with the BTC chart of Komodo, it was not holding the horizontal levels that would have been more strong. Yep, so that's a possibility. Oh. But let's hold this channel. That would be more ideal. And then we'd be moving into that further move. At least we could be looking for that $2 level by the end of the year. That would be hopeful. You know, $1.50 as extremely, oh, please, sir, may I have some more? That kind of thing. All right. But anyway, KMD looking good. We're going to get green at some point. Doesn't have to be huge like this, and it'll at least be green, and it'll give us something. So that's good. That's good. Okay. I'm glad that this bounce hasn't really wasted any green positive momentum. What it has done is allowed the relatively positive momentum, which is the decreasing negative momentum. Okay. Now continue. So that's your KMD. This is your previous candle, big wick into that box we're looking at. We can see what happens on the daily, fighting Ichimoku cloud with the one wick, but we're coming up onto this time frame here. End of October is going to be interesting. Let's try and get above $16, $20 end of October, and towards, well, then it could just come back down and use it as support into November. We'll see where this cloud goes. Okay, that's the daily on a USDT time frame for the KMD price. And then just a quick overlook here. Yeah, I there was some green there, but then now we got a bigger red bodied candle than the previous green. It's like, okay, come on. What you doing there, Pirate Jane? Come on, Pirate Jane. Maybe it's trying to match this level of pricing that's not quite channeled so cleanly. So that's fine, whatever. We're gonna see what happens overall. It looks like it could round out. We are towards the bottom, but we could still dump. However, we'll see. We're not in the oversold position just yet. And MACD, I mean, yeah, it's similar to the Komodo chart. On the daily, we could be using some green at some point soon. So that's nice. And yeah, we're slowing down here the momentum a bit from this dump. And that's happening here right now. Right here, right now, the price is hovering and fighting with this level right here. What I really like about this chart here is that the price, whether it's a green candle or red candle, I guess you could set whatever color you want, it has the line across, so you can check easily the price level against previous candles and look at where it's just hitting hard here right now. We're right here. So key levels here, and wow, we are in the thick of it. So I'm glad you could join me for this. Thanks for being here, all you friends of Pirate Chain. And yeah, check out that wallet release, isn't it? Anyway, you check it out yourself. We're here for the technical analysis. So yeah, it either on a weekly, oh, I love this weekly chart because it's so scary. This is like a roller coaster, or even worse than that, some sort of it brings you up, shoots you up hard, and then slams you down, and you're like, oh, when are you gonna stop, please? Yeah, because here's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9 within the last 11, and this body of this one is faint. So that's quite the dumpage. Are we at the 1618 levels we had retraced and all that, or we had extended on the downside? I don't believe so. Oh no, it was a retracement because this was like a flat type of pattern. So we're traced there. Yeah, so we're near there. I mean, it is what it is. The bodies are just hovering at the 1382. So if we can hold this, that would be huge. That would be a nice type of flat with, you know, my seal of approval here using wicks. If we're zigzagging it, then, you know, and not using the wicks and instead playing with closing prices, okay, then we're looking at, oh, get away from here for now, thank you. From that level to this level to that level. And now we are at the 1618 of that zigzag. So good times, Pirate Chain. Let's reverse here. No, but that would be very nice of you. Thank you. If not, you keep going down. We can, you know, keep DCA, but at least give us something, give us some sign of life. And then again, hey, maybe the downside is the sign of life is a sign of the correction. It needs to happen. So you saw that 1382 on the retrace using the wicks and 1618 here. So strong level for a possible turnaround, even if that turnaround only brings us here to the 4,500 to 5,000 Satoshi level. You know, at this point, is this the spring of a accumulation? It looks not like that on a weekly. Yeah, at least not yet. And where is it going to base? Like, are we going to base here at this rectangular level? Is this going to be our base right here? Or are we going to find base above the 5,000 level? Or is this going to become ceiling? Are we really, are you ceilinging me? Okay. That's right. Remember to breathe, take it all in. RSI is finding opportunities to have lower, but we're in the low, we're at the 40 level. So maybe it bounces at 40. That'd be good, but we're so high up overbought. Does it need to get oversold? And what does that look like? Maybe it goes up first and finds, you know, that next RSI movement on a weekly level. Maybe it's lower than this one and it goes further down or whatever happens. Let's find out. Thanks for being here. See, here's the thing. We look like we're building. It didn't just come this momentum here, like we're hoping for that KMD action. It's like, oh no, I don't think so. But maybe we're starting to build, see the color change. We're starting to build the relatively negative momentum. So it's, I mean, sorry, relatively positive negative momentum. The negative momentum is getting decreased towards the 0 level. Yeah, there you go. That's your Pirate Chain weekly action. Go Pirates. Looks like this massive sea monster with these Bollinger Bands. And we are engulfed right now. Anyway, yeah, cool times. All right, so I'm gonna go. That's it for now on the Pirate Chain BTC. That was the daily and the weekly. And for the dollar version, USDT. By the way, stick around for more. I'm going to bring some Darrow and just look at some other charts just to see what is the type of sentiment, what are other things doing so we can get some context. And boy, oh boy, this price here goes right to the channel. It really wants to hug it and just hugging this line. But now the channel is, you know, having a bit of a lift off. Let's see what happens here. Again, dump day candle, but okay, that's day by day. Is a day by day. We're definitely showing some potential flattening here, but at any moment we'd like an impulsive move up here to high $2 level. And by first 10 days, first third of November, we want to be able to start challenging this price, or maybe not. Maybe we start kind of falling out of here. That's fine, and then we come up higher and we only challenge the underside of this before, you know, coming back down or whatever is going to happen. If that's the case, that would be a more bearish case. If you stay more bullish, then we're staying within this channeling action. We got to be challenging this level here, $3.50 by the middle of November. So can we be at 350 by middle of November and sustain that? So that's important here. We eventually would like to get up here to this $5 level. Okay, well, $4 level, I should say, actually, $4 level. Okay, that's it for now. Fire chain dollar on the daily. For the weekly, having a bit of a better time than the BTC version price chart for R, and a good support here. Yeah, let's see if we can find the reversal and move higher on a weekly time frame. It would be nice to do it this week, but if it has to be next week, then whatever, it's next week. As long as this week stays relatively numb and sideways, then we're good for the Pirate Chain USDT. I'm going to show the line chart and just see that we already had our major low here at 184 in the closing. And so here we are now at the 212 big time support. And let's see what happens. Okay, making that bounce. Let's get a higher low than this low and then move. And can we get a higher high than this high here? That would be into the $3 level for closing price above 305 on the weekly. Okay, candles, you could get all the way up to 355 for intro week. Okay, let's see what happens. Keep watching. Until next time, wishing you love, peace, and happiness. Goodbye.